on the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Amber Shrum, 2318885. And Detective, your name for the record, please.
Sable, Your Honor.
All right, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony about to give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, thank you. You may proceed on the warrant.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Wyandotte Police were dispatched to 1870 8th Street a little after 1 o'clock in the morning on today's date. It was in response to a domestic call. And when officers arrived, they separated the two parties, the complaining witness, which is Kenneth Landorf, and the defendant, Amber, is it Shrum?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. During their investigation, they found out that Amber recently just got back from the bar. Kenneth was sleeping. She indicated that she forgot her phone at the bar that she was at and wanted him to get it. They got into an argument, and during this domestic, Amber threw a fan at the complaining witness, a glass jar at the complaining witness, in addition to some children's toys at the witness during this domestic. And she was subsequently arrested for the domestic violence.
All right. Upon examination of the complaining witness, I find the offenses charged were committed and there's probable cause of belief defendant committed those offenses. And good afternoon, counsel. Your appearance, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Attorney Matt Molino on behalf of the defendant.
All right, thank you. And ma'am, your name for the record, please.
Amber Shrum.
All right, and counsel, as to the arraignment.
Yes, sir. I will waive a formal reading and stay on mute.
The court will waive the formal reading, enter plea of not guilty for purposes of the arraignment. And as to, and the court's going to indicate, ma'am, that you do have the right to have an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the court will appoint one to represent you. And in fact, you've had an opportunity to meet with an attorney today on Zoom, correct? In a breakout room?
Yes.
All right. And the court will also indicate you have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have a trial by a judge or by a jury. And you also have the right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing may be used against you in court. Do you understand those rights?
Yes.
The court's going to indicate, as the court indicated, the court's going to enter plea of not guilty on your behalf.
He's talking to me.
Schedule this matter for probable cause conference on August 3rd at 9:30 a.m. And counsel, as to bond.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was a little confused. I thought this was a domestic violence charge. Is this a felony charge?
Yes. Would you like me to? There's three. Well, there's one count of domestic violence, 3 counts of felonious assault. Would you like me to read those?
No, Your Honor. I just wanted to know what they were. I'm sorry, I didn't have a file, and she was curious, so I wanted to make that clear.
No, that's okay. It says, and I'll just indicate the 3 charges are. There's 3 charges because one's alleging a fan, one's alleging a glass jar, and one's alleging children's toys.
Understood, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. As to bond, my client has no real criminal record. She lives here in Wyandotte. She's lived here for, approximately 2 years. She works at CVS. She has 2 children who are with this gentleman, the alleged victim in the matter. They're safe and sound home with him. She does have a place to stay. She'll be staying with her friend. She's assured me that she's not going to have any contact with this gentleman or probably any of his children unless, he drops a no contact order or something along those lines later on down the line. But she's assured me that she's going to show up, face the charges. Obviously, she's not going to risk running by abandoning her children and abandoning her job. As far as she told me, she has no history of not showing up to court. So I'd ask the court, even though this is a felony charge, I mean, I know the circumstances, from what it sounds like, doesn't sound like she's very dangerous. I'd just ask the court to consider a personal bond, maybe with a tether.
All right, and Detective, I'll give you an opportunity to respond in just a moment. Ma'am, where is it you work?
CVS for 8 years.
Okay, which city is that?
I currently work at the one in Trenton, but we're about to close in September, so I'm getting transferred to another CVS, most likely the Brownstown location.
Okay, and I'm slightly confused. Which city do you live in?
I live in Wyandotte.
Okay.
I work in Trenton, though.
No, I understand. It just indicated, in the report, it indicated your address in Trenton.
That's just what's on my license. That's my dad's house.
Well, okay, but you don't live there, so did you change your address with the Secretary of State yet?
No, I did not.
Well, you should do that, ma'am. Are you currently on probation, parole anywhere?
I'm sorry?
Are you on probation or parole anywhere?
I've never been arrested.
Okay, so have you ever failed to appear in court for any reason, whether it's a traffic ticket or otherwise?
No, never.
And are you out on bond in any other jurisdiction?
No.
It appears as though there are a few other requests for charges that were not granted regarding assaulting police officer for 3 different officers. And counsel, or I'm sorry, ma'am, you indicate you have 4 dependents?
Yeah, I have 2 children with Kenny, and he has 2 children from a previous woman, and they live with us full time.
And how old are the children?
8, 7, and then my 2 are, my daughter will be 4 next Friday, and our son will be 1 in September.
Okay, and you pay $715 a month for your car payment?
Yes.
Okay. And who is this friend that you indicate you can live with?
Her name's Leon. She just got married to McGowan, McGowen. She also lives in.
All right, and detective, as to bond.
I would agree that what counsel said, she has no criminal history, but I think under the circumstances, it's reasonable for a moderate bond, and I would be willing to say 5,000, 10%. In addition to no contact with the complaining witness, not to return to the co-residing home, and I also like counsel's idea of a tether, but in this case, because alcohol was involved, and apparently that's the real issue, according to the complaining witness, she's fine when she's not drinking, but when she is, this is the behavior that's displayed, so a GPS alcohol tether. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, ma'am, if you were to test today, what would be detected in your system, other than I'm presuming alcohol based upon the allegations?
Marijuana?
Do you have a valid prescription for marijuana?
No, I don't.
When was the last time you used marijuana?
Last night?
Anything else?
Alcohol and marijuana.
I'm sorry?
Just alcohol and marijuana.
Okay. While the defendant does not have any prior criminal history based upon the allegations in the complaint, I'm sorry, we're gonna go off the record for just one moment.
Yes, Your Honor. Think for next. When she comes back on, if you would stand up again, I'd be fine.
If you're on an alcohol habit, you can't smoke marijuana, or it's just no alcohol.
Can't drink.
That's it.
It detects it.
Just one. Or me.
Thank you.
Okay, I apologize for that. We're back on the record. That was Riverview calling for a search warrant. They're at the hospital right now, so the number kept calling, so I figured it was something important, so I apologize for that. So the court will indicate that while Ms. Strom does not seem to have a significant criminal history, the court does have concerns regarding the allegations that have been put forth, specifically regarding Ms. Strom's consumption of alcohol as a large contributing factor to this incident. So the court does find a monetary value would be sufficient, $5,000, 10% bond. Man, that may seem like a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things with your charges, the fact that you have 3 felonies and a domestic violence and they're assaultive in nature, that's not, that's a low bond. Let me just put it that way. The court's going to also indicate that in the event you do post bond, you're not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this matter, Kenneth Landorf. That's phone contact, text message, email, social media, third party, anything of the like. So I understand that you have children together. Counsel, did you speak with your client regarding any type of parenting time and how that would be effectuated and who would communicate?
No, Your Honor, but for the record, I will advise my client that, she can ask for a no assaultive contact, bond provision at the next hearing. They will speak with the alleged victim, see if he's agreeable to that, because the no contact order can affect custody proceedings. So I think she should probably consult with an attorney about any family law aspects to this case as well.
All right, and the court would agree. Were the children present, Detective, at the time that this allegation occurred?
Report indicates yes, Your Honor.
All right, so the court's going to indicate, ma'am, that I will make an exception for you to communicate with Mr. Landorf regarding parenting time with the children, but only through a third party. And the court's going to indicate you're not to enter the premises at the home on 8th Street. You are allowed 1 visit to obtain your personal belongings, so long as you're accompanied by a police officer. So what that means is that you'll have to contact the Wyandotte Police Department and then go with the Wyandotte Police Department to the location. You don't go to the location and then call the police department. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed. You're not to possess or have any access to any firearms and or any weapons. And you are to have a GPS and alcohol tether, and that's through the Wayne County Jail. So in the event you post bond, ma'am, those are all of your conditions. Any questions?
No.
All right, the court will see you back on Thursday.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And the court did sign the order for court-appointed attorney for felony matters. Thank you. All
Thank you, Your Honor.
Appreciate it.
right, thank you. Have a good day. Off the record. Okay, that's all. I think that's all that we have. Thanks.